Okay, so this afternoon we're going to talk about Angel Nichole Overstreet. This beautiful 3 month old baby. She'll be over a year old now. She would actually be May, June, July, August. She'd actually be 16 months old. Well, 15 and a half months old. And the article reads, Dad claims he gave missing newborn to social services. A year later, she's still missing. The search for a missing West Virginia baby who disappeared as a newborn is still active, according to police. Angel Nichole Overstreet was reported missing on May 25th, 2021, from Huntington, Virginia, West Virginia. However, police say the infant's whereabouts cannot be confirmed since May 8th of 2021. As Crime Online previously reported, investigators questioned Angel's father, Shannon Overstreet, 38, last year, but didn't arrest him in connection with her disappearance. The baby reportedly vanished after social services visited his home over a custody dispute. In June 2021, Overstreet was arrested for felony malicious wounding and a battery charge stemming from a previous unrelated incident. Overstreet reportedly told investigators that he turned the baby over to Child Protective Services. Huntington Police Chief Ray Cornwall said during a 2021 press conference that social services said the baby wasn't in their custody. Mr. Overstreet was located here in Huntington and came to police headquarters here on May 24th. He had stated to CPS previously and to our detectives that he had relinquished custody of the child 2 weeks prior to CPS from West Virginia. Child Protective Services from West Virginia has no knowledge or records of any transfer of custody of this child. CPS reported Angel missing after investigating the custody battle stemming from Kentucky. Sleuthy, hey, it's been a long time.
Yeah, as how are you? Sorry, I
I'm
got kids in the
good.
background, so I apologize in advance.
Oh,
But
no
how are
problem.
you?
The G babies are wide awake over here running around doing stuff. You'll probably hear them in a little bit too.
We're riding bikes in the hallway right now, so
Sounds like fun. They're making ice cream and peach cobbler with Play-Doh today. I've had to eat my fair share or pretend to anyway. Let me finish reading this article and then I want to play one of your videos and let you talk a little about it since this is your baby and you know so much about this case, you know it inside out.
okay, sounds great.
All right. CPS reported Angel missing after investigating the custody battle stemming from Kentucky involving Overstreet. Cell phone records indicated that Overstreet's last known custody time with the baby was in early May. Detectives executed search warrants for Overstreet's vehicle, his mother's home in Huntington, West Virginia, and his residence in Kentucky. Investigators are in contact with the infant's mother, who is not considered a suspect in the child's disappearance. Today, Angel would be a year old. Well, she'd be like 15 and a half months old today. Last month, the community held a vigil on her first birthday in hopes of spreading awareness. I just wanted to find a way to honor her today and not make it about anything else but her birthday, Stacy Bronfeld, who follows the case on social media, told Fox 11. She should be home, waddling around, open presents, and instead she's missing and you don't hear nothing about it. At the time of her disappearance, Angel was described as a white infant with blue eyes and dark red hair. She has a strawberry-shaped birthmark on the back of her neck. The Huntington Police Department released a statement last month in connection with the case. The Huntington Police Department would like to thank the public for their continued support in our investigation to the disappearance of Angel Nichole Overstreet, the infant missing since early May 2021. For this investigation, we have partnered not only with the public, but also with the Kentucky State Police, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Cabell County Prosecutor's Office, Olive Hill, Kentucky Volunteer Fire Department, Carter County, Kentucky Attorney Brian Hayes, David Castle, the West Virginia State Police Crime Scene Response Team Coordinator, and the West Virginia Intelligence Fusion Center. We also want to ensure the public our investigation remains active and ask for anyone having any knowledge of Angel Overstreet to contact the Huntington Police Department at 304 696 4420 or contact the HPD anonymous tip line at 304 696 4444. Now I want to play Sleuth Mom's video, and then I'm going to let her talk about the case because she is so well versed on this case.
Yeah, Angel is actually like why I started my channel. Whenever I had first started looking at her case, you know, Crime Stories Obsessed had done a few videos on her, and then she just fell off the radar. Everybody just stopped talking about her. And then whenever Gabby Petito went missing, we watched all of the Facebook groups that used to have Angel Nichole Overstreet's name in them switch over from Angel Overstreet to Gabby Petito. And it was devastating watching this baby just basically get pushed off to the side and forgotten. And so there's been one Facebook group that has run this entire time for her. And that's the people that you see doing the interviews and reaching out to the news media, because this poor baby doesn't even have family advocating for her.
I recall you saying that her case is one of the reasons that you came to YouTube, that you had been trying to contact like bigger channels and get them to cover it, and like nobody would, and she just basically started to fade from the conversation, as you were saying.
Yeah, it's sad. Like I reached out to so many people, but nobody wanted to touch it. They were all focused on Gabby at that point, and literally like every other case fell to the wayside. I mean, even Summer's case got pushed to the back burner for a lot of them while Gabby was going on.
And that is so right. That is so right. Even Summer fell off the map for a short period of time during the Gabby Petito case. So let me go ahead and play your video just to kind of catch everybody up to speed. I think this is one of the shorter ones where you're pretty much going over the case just as a reminder, hey, Angel is still missing. So let me get that started.
Good morning, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about Angel Nichole Overstreet. We've covered Angel before on this channel, but I want to continue to cover her story so that we can keep bringing her case to the light. For those of you who don't know Angel's story yet, let me go over the brief case details for you. So Angel Nichole Overstreet was reported missing on Tuesday, May 25th, 2021 by the Huntington Police Department in Huntington, West Virginia. She was 3 months old at the time. That's right, she was just a baby. She's over 1 now and has been missing longer than she's been found. Angel's birthday is February 11th of 2021. Her mother, Jolie May, gave birth to her at her mother, Brenda Burton's house in Warfield, Kentucky. They went to the hospital then, where Angel stayed for 5 days. On February 16th, Shannon took Angel home. Jolie May put his name on Angel's birth certificate so that he could do that. It's important to note, though, that Shannon Overstreet has been DNA tested and is genetically not Angel's biological father. With that being the case, why would Jolie May put his name on the birth certificate, you ask? Perhaps so that she didn't also lose custody of Angel. According to Jolie's mother, Angel is Jolie's 8th child, and she has lost parental rights to all of them. March 11th is the last time that Jolie May claims that she saw Angel, according to her Facebook post. March 12th of 2021 is when Shannon assaulted his mom, Connie Overstreet, who is now in a nursing home or rehabilitation facility. We still aren't sure of the exact location of her. That's important because we're going to discuss his charges in just a minute. So at some point in March, Shannon took a DNA paternity test. As I said, the results proved that he was not, in fact, Angel's biological father. On March 19th, he posted those results to Facebook and was very upset that he discovered that he wasn't biologically hers. On April 14th of 2021, a paternity complaint was officially filed against Shannon Overstreet and Julie Lynn May by Elijah Fry, which is actually Angel's biological father. His sister, which would be Angel's aunt, was in contact with Shannon. They were messaging back and forth, and she wanted Shannon to give Angel over to them. Shannon responded several times with things saying basically that they would never get custody of Angel, that she was his. April 23rd, we see Shannon post that he had received the paternity complaint in the mail. He was not happy at all. May 1st is the last photo that we have seen of Angel, and he posted it on his Facebook. May 6th, Shannon gets a new smart car. May 7th, text messages between Julie Lynn May and Shannon let Julie Lynn know that he claims he left Angel with a friend to babysit for a couple of days. On May 11th, we see Shannon post on his Facebook that CPS took custody of Angel from him the day before. We now know this to be false because CPS has claimed they did not have Angel. They're actually the ones who contacted the Huntington Police Department after Shannon's refusal to produce Angel. Likely, all of these events and this follow up that CPS was doing was in results of the paternity complaint that was filed. On May 24th, CPS Services of West Virginia officially contacted the Huntington Police Department saying that they needed to follow up on a custody issue stemming from Kentucky CPS Services involving Shannon Patrick Overstreet. He stated to them that he had relinquished custody of Angel 2 weeks prior. Again, obviously, these claims were unsubstantiated, being that CPS was actually who was looking for Angel because of the paternity complaint. Shannon was then taken into custody because of his outstanding warrant for assaulting his mother. After that, in the initial press conference, we didn't hear anything from the police for almost a month. And then on June 23rd of 2021, we seen the pond at the property that Shannon Overstreet owns in Olive Hill, Kentucky. It was drained and searched. That search lasted 3 days. On June 26th, the pond search concluded. Nothing has been reported since about the search. They haven't told us if anything was found, if any DNA evidence or forensics has come back from this pond search yet. Initially, they did say that something was sent out for testing, but we have had no clarification if it was something involving Angel's disappearance. It's honestly been extremely frustrating as a community to watch this little girl, this sweet, innocent baby, go almost completely unreported. And so that's whenever you started to see the Facebook group, the admins, the moderators that were involved in this, and the local community starting to really try to push her case back into the limelight. Her parents weren't advocating for her. And by parents, I mean Julie Lynn May and Elijah Fry. They kind of fell very silent, and people stopped talking about Angel's case. We watched at one point 4 different groups on Facebook that were covering Angel's story completely just take her name out of the title and put someone else there as if she had been found. But she's not found. She's still missing. I'm going to drop the link to the Facebook group that does still exist in the link to this video. These women that run this group have been advocating and fighting for Angel since the beginning and continue to do so. They even just recently had a candlelight vigil in her honor for her birthday to remind everyone that she's still here and to get her face on the news one more time. That's what we need right now. We need her face to keep popping up one more time so that people keep seeing her and are reminded that she is still not found. My personal opinion, I believe there's a chance she could be alive out there somewhere. All of Shannon's posts on Facebook, in my opinion, look as if he was caring for her and that he loved her. She was always clothed in nice clothing. She always looked happy and healthy in the pictures that he did share. He took pride in the fact that she was his daughter. And then the different text messages back and forth claiming that her biological family would never get custody of her and he would make sure of that. Was that done out of malice because he was angry and planning to do something harmful to her? Or was it because he had several women that he was talking to that could easily assume custody of Angel until he was able to find a different location for her that they would never find her? It's all a possibility that I try to keep in the back of my head because I would rather think of her out there somewhere thriving. Like I said, she would be 13 months now, just at her first birthday while she was missing. The other side of this, however, is Shannon Patrick Overstreet is an extremely violent man. He has an extremely violent history, including forcibly tattooing a woman with the words King Shannon at one point back in 2010. He's also assaulted his mother multiple times, and this last one has actually just got him charged with attempted murder. This article just came out a couple days ago. Let's go ahead and take a look and read it real quick. The article says a West Virginia man and father of long missing infant was recently indicted on an attempted murder charge that is seemingly unrelated to his daughter's whereabouts. Now remember, he is not her biological father. Shannon Patrick Overstreet, age 38, was indicted by Cable County grand jury earlier this week over a March 2021 incident that allegedly involved his own mother in her own home. According to the Huntington Police Department, the defendant beat his mother so badly that she suffered a significant brain bleed. He was originally arrested on malicious assault charge in connection with the alleged attack. A judge found probable cause for the attempted murder prosecution during a preliminary hearing in June of 2021. The case was handed to the grand jury then. Now remember, this is just 2 months prior to Angel's disappearance. The defendant is the father of then 3-month-old Angel Nichole Overstreet, who has been missing since May 7th, 2021, according to authorities. While the elder Overstreet is believed to be the last person to have been seen with this child, he is not considered a suspect or a person of interest in her disappearance. And I hate this because how is he the last person to have had her, but is still not considered a suspect? Police say that the March 2021 attack on the defendant's mother consisted of him dragging her by the hair across the yard while repeatedly hitting her and then leaving her lying on the floor. The alleged victim wasn't treated until several days later. A similar set of circumstances is said by the authorities to have played out in April of 2016. This is the previous assault on his mother that I had mentioned. That assault occurred on a Tuesday right around 5 p.m., citing the HPD and television station said that the defendant's mother had already secured a domestic violence petition against her son when she saw him enter her home, and the woman confronted Overstreet, police said, which resulted in the woman being pushed and knocked to the ground. But the alleged attack didn't stop there. According to various reports, Overstreet went on to repeatedly punch his mother in the face while she was on the ground. The victim told the television station she was unable to escape until her dog intervened and got between herself and the assailant. Overstreet was charged with malicious wounding over attack on 2016 of his mother. Tell me why Jolie Lynn May would put this child in his custody with vicious charges like this in his past. It's so frustrating to me. You know, she had to have known that he was this violent criminal, but yet signed her baby over to him. He was also charged with violating the protective order and took a plea deal in 2017 on a domestic battery charge over that attack. He was sentenced to 8 months in jail with credit for time served. Overstreet was arrested in connection with the March 2021 incident, which is the most recent attack on his mother, allegations in late May of 2021. This again is after CPS contacted the Huntington Police Department about the whereabouts of Angel Overstreet. The article goes on to say that that's around the time that several law enforcement agencies executed a search at the property in Kentucky in the service of a missing persons case involving his daughter. The Kentucky State Police, HPD, and FBI executed the search warrant at the defendant's mother's Carter County, Kentucky property, but the details resulting from that effort were scarce. Authorities also searched the defendant's car, several digital devices, and his mother's home where he was allegedly known to stay. Even with all of this searching, nothing has been told to us about the investigation and where we are for Angel's disappearance. We see now that police pursued a grand jury indictment on him for the attempted murder charge for his mother. And it makes me question, are they also pursuing grand jury charges on him for Angel? I've always been taught to prepare for the worst but hope for the best. And all I can do is continue to hope that she is out there somewhere with one of the many women that he was talking to, or a family member perhaps. You know, there were several states in this area that he was known to frequent. She could literally be anywhere. After seeing the case for Classic and Sincere, aka Orrin and Orson West, finally get a grand jury indictment on their adoptive monsters, it makes me wonder if perhaps that's the method that they're taking with this case as well. We also thought in that case that police were doing nothing. We thought that we were getting nowhere. But perhaps the police are just quiet because they're quietly building their case. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but what I am sure of is that Angel still needs attention. Thankfully, other people are starting to notice her. She actually was just on Crime Stories with Nancy Grace just recently, and I'll put the link to that in the description of this video as well. So continue to spread her story and spread her face. Hit the like button on this video and share, share, share. You can never share it too many times. Let's get her name trending everywhere again and keep her name trending, because in the event that she is out there somewhere, someone may not even realize that she's considered missing. They may think that they're just caring for his child while he's in prison. Believe it or not, but not everybody watches the news. Not everybody looks at social media. There are people out there who just live in their own little bubble. I used to be one of those people. So never underestimate the importance of a like and a share. Thank you guys all for taking the time to watch this video about Angel Nichole Overstreet. I hope you watched it completely to the end. If you did, hit the like button, share, 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 and subscribe if you're not already. Thank you all. Have a great day. Oh, that was a good choice. That was one of my better ones, I would say, that I did about Angel for sure. You know, it's disgusting. That Angel's mom actually put her in the custody of this guy to begin with. You know, knowing that he had charges like that, knowing that he had an abusive history. This baby was set up to fail before she even got started.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, wow, there was just so much to unpack in that video, so much information. And I mean, he's a horrible person. And they were saying that that's not the first time that he's beat his mom. So that's probably something he's been doing since he was a teenager. So Angel's mom more than likely would have been aware of that if she was in any type of real relationship with him or even a long term friendship.
I think that's part of the issue here. Angel's mom actually has Angel is number 8 as far as children goes, and she has custody of none. And so that in itself speaks volumes to her character, I would say. um you know, people have a lot of kids, like that's not a big issue, but having a lot of kids to so many people and then not being able to maintain custody is my thing, I guess. Not to like hate on people who have a lot of children or anything like that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of kids. I mean, it's feasible that maybe in certain circumstances someone might lose custody of one or two or whatever, get them back, and then straighten up and fly right. But when you hit 8 kids, you should have long figured out how to maintain a family, at least to the point where they're not getting taken.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I was trying to say it in like the least offensive way possible. But she has no care or concern that Angel's even missing. You know, she's there's just been no um for like I would say the first couple weeks of her daughter's disappearance, you know, there was some like minimal posting on social medias and stuff by her, but for the most part she's just been gone with nobody caring.
Mm. And that is so sad. I want to ask: is there Are there drug issues involved with the mom or
Yeah,
mental health issues?
as far as I know, um, I would say yes.
That could explain a lot as far as the children being taken and all that, because whenever you get into the drugs and the mental health, then you get into some real issues.
Mm-hmm.
People don't even take care of their own needs, let alone the needs of someone else once they get deep down into either of those paths.
Right. Yeah, it's a pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it, of its own in our country right now.
It really is. And the opioids are just the new face of it. There's
Mm-hmm.
always been that in some fashion or form, but I think with opioids, it kind of just really went crazy.
Right. Right.
I wanted to put this out here. Now I know that this is absolutely not a very likely scenario, but he insists that, hey, Bubby, come on, Gigi, baby. He insists that CPS came and took her, right? And
Yeah,
one of the
so
people
he's
that was,
saying that she was gone, that CPS came and took her on around May 8th, it would have been. Now, the last picture that he posted of her is May 1st. May 7th, he told Jolie that the angel was with a friend of his, and that she was supposed to be watching her for a couple days. And then on May 8th is when he tells police that CPS came and took the baby away. And so even with his own stories between the two people, it kind of doesn't make sense, because was she with a friend for a couple of days, or did CPS come and get her? That's nice.
I'm not ignoring you. Bubby is being very demanding right now. You want to say hello, Bubby? Say hi.
Hi, Bubby.
Say hi. Oh, all she can say right now is Gigi. Give me a few minutes if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the entire situation is the fact that, you know, even though the allegations of CPS coming is out there, saying that they had come and taken her, you know, a lot of people think that that could be a possibility because of the fact that he was in this custody dispute, and there was an order to basically go and take Angel into custody because of the fact that um, because of the custody dispute between the parents and Shannon. And whenever I say parents, I mean Elijah, not her mom. And so, unfortunately, I just don't think it's reality. I think it was just a very easy excuse for why she was no longer there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking too. Just a way to try to throw something off. But I wonder what actually happened to her. I wonder if what he could have possibly done with her. Are there any theories out there about that?
So, okay, my personal thought is that he very well could have put her somewhere. He was constantly telling the aunt that they would never have custody of her, he would never let her go, things like that. You know what I mean? There was always those like allegations, or always those sentences where he would respond like, "Well, if she's not with me, like she's not going to be with any of you." You know what I mean? Things like that. That he would never give her up. And so, to me, I think he knew that the police could have been closing in on him for the abuse of his mom. He had physically assaulted her. He had to have known that they were going to come and eventually arrest him for that assault. And I think with the paternity challenges and the assault charges at the same time, he was trying to avoid losing custody of her for that reason. But then there's the side where he's this abusive, like psychotic guy. And so could he have harmed this baby because he was so angry with everyone else? It's all crazy. Something led to them draining the pond, though. And so that always concerns me.
Yeah, that is a scary thought. But yeah, it seems like it kind of could go either way. Like, he knew that she wasn't his biologically, but he didn't want to give her up. So that demonstrates some kind of affection toward this baby. And it makes you kind of want to think that, okay, well, he's got her hiding out with someone and she's safe. But then with his history and his violence, maybe he acted out in rage, one of those if I can't have her, nobody, no one can situations. So I don't even know what to think on this one. Bubby, please stop scratching me.
Too funny. You got yours scratching you. I got mine upset because my husband's working on our porch right now, and so she's mad she can't go outside. He's out there drilling boards down and stuff, replacing some deck boards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just wants my attention. Whenever she sees my door closed and she hears me talking, she knows I'm live, so she has to come in. Are you being a little monster? So I think we've been on here about a half an hour, and Bubby is apparently not going to let me talk very much longer. I really just wanted to bring some more awareness to her case. I thought about her today, and I know that she is very close to your heart, and I know that not a lot of people talk about her. Yes, we have a new host. Uh, he's been coming on the live quite a bit lately.
Has he? Hi, Tim.
Oh, I
You know
mean,
what?
yeah,
I can't help but hold on to hope that she could possibly be out there. This guy has people in several states that he very easily could have tucked her away somewhere and done that.
that would be the best outcome.
The problem is, like, we don't have any updated photos. They don't do the age progression for 2 years. And so we have a whole nother year before we get a professionally done age progress photo of this child.
Yeah, that kind of. Stop, Bubby.
But
She
police
says
haven't come out and said, that they believed that she was dead. They haven't come out and said that they believed foul play. Like, none of that has been spoken. Now, we did see them drain the pond and search it for 3 days. But they never have told us, like, what, if any, evidence was found. They never have told us that there was something that indicates the angel's no longer with us. None of those things have occurred. And so I don't know. Maybe I'm just always wanting to see the best or have hope, but
I think you
I,
pulled your mic out.
I did.
My
Can you hear
bad.
me now?
I turned mine down by accident. I saw your eyes still going, but I couldn't hear you.
That's so funny. Yeah, so I can't give up hope on her personally. Not until police give us something. Now the problem is HPD. Whenever you call them for updates, or email them, or reach out to them in any way, shape, or form about Angel's case, you either don't get a response at all, which is the most common thing. They don't answer their phone, or they don't tell us what's going on. They give us nothing, or they give us like a brush off statement, like we're still investigating, blah, blah, blah. And that's pretty much all it is. And so we've had people now who have gone to the jail or messaged Shannon at the jail, trying to get information from him, like trying to see if he indicates anything or talking to him. You know what I mean? Like, if he's going to slip up and say anything. He has stuck to his story this entire time that he didn't have her. Now, would he stick to that story, though, if he killed her? Of course, he's not going to be like, oh, well, sorry about that. He's not going to make his charges any longer than they're already going to be if police don't have anything.
Yeah, now that's kind of the same train of thought as with Corey Bigsby. He's not going to talk because they really don't have anything on him. So it might be the same thing here. I'm not going to talk. They don't have anything. I'm not going to give them anything.
Right. That's exactly it. He's not going to volunteer the information that's going to get him locked up longer, especially having been somebody who's been in and out of the system before. Like, he knows. So, but I'm excited because next week her billboard is finally going up. It is going to be. Let me pull up and see if I have the location, or if Sippy, if you're still here, do you know where the location is in West Virginia?
The location for what now?
The billboard. Finally going up. It's only going up for 1 month, which is kind of a bummer. We had been fundraising for it, or the Facebook group had, and the couple videos that I did, I kind of mentioned it. I probably should have pushed it a little bit harder. I did donate a little bit towards that, but unfortunately, the admins had to pay the bulk of the price of this billboard. But again, this is people who are out there constantly trying to raise awareness for this baby, and so the cost of it was nothing to them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was worth it. And so
I
the
actually
billboard is going up for a month, and hopefully it can generate some tips again and new leads, because right now the tips have slowed down. The communication has slowed down. Heck, even getting a news article would be fantastic, just to put it back out there again.
Now, I actually saw some information about where the billboard is supposed to be going. Unfortunately, I accidentally closed my browser, so I lost all the tabs that I had pulled up. I'm trying to see if it's in this article. Wherever they're talking about the vigil for Angel Nichole Overstreet,
Here it
I'm
is.
trying to, yeah, they actually in that article they sell the intersection that it's going to be at.
I have the thing here. I'm just looking for the location. Regardless, I know it's on a very busy highway, so hopefully like I said, hopefully it just leads to some type of information. My thing is, out of this small community, out of this neighborhood that this child is missing in, there was people who still had no idea that she was missing. And so that's where I'm saying, like, he has relatives in the 5 states, all surrounding the state. And so, how easy he could have taken her across the border, given her to an aunt or an ex girlfriend or something along those lines, and they have no idea that this child is considered a missing child.
And you're so right because when I was on the Reddit forums earlier, when I was kind of researching the case, I saw where someone commented and they're like, "I've never heard of this. I'm right here in Huntington, and I've never heard of this child."
Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. We think just because a case gets, 10,000 views, or just because we get a Facebook group with like 5,000 people or whatever, we see these numbers and we think, oh, they're big because, our typical videos only get a couple hundred or whatever. You know what I mean? And so we think, oh, wow, we're really making a big dent. But really, whenever it comes right down to it, the state that she lives in has, how many hundreds of thousands or a million people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
really.
hitting 2,000 or whatever, or even getting it in the press and reaching out to 10,000, it's not enough. It's not enough.
It's really not, which is why all these kids really need more of the channels advocating for them because
Mm-hmm.
not everyone who watches one channel will watch another. Not everyone who watches that one will watch either of the first two. So
Right.
everyone in the missing community needs to be pushing on their audiences, all these kids, not just getting one or two cases and deciding, oh, I'm going to stop right here. These are the most important or the most profitable.
Right.
Okay, I found the billboard. It says the billboard is set to go up next week at the corner of 8th Street and 7th Avenue
Okay.
in Huntington.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. See, so going up soon, 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 soon. So hopefully, at least the community of Huntington, will be able to see it now. And
Exactly.
and I just I honestly believe that the way this guy is, somebody had to have seen whatever his activities were surrounding this. Somebody had to have seen him going in and out. He is not some quiet, meek guy. He is he's got a personality to him, and he really stands out, in my opinion. Whenever you have this attitude that you can just beat the crap out of your mom, I mean, what does that tell you about who he is?
Yeah, to beat your mom, to force someone to get you tattooed on them. Yeah, he's brash. And then the tattoos just his overall aura is someone that you cannot miss in a crowd. He's gonna stand out because he's loud, because he's brash, because he needs to be the center of attention or whatever reason. You're not gonna miss him.
Absolutely. I mean, and I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with, I really hope she's out there somewhere. We cover too many where the babies aren't out there anymore. Or they're out there still, but they're not with us. And so I have to, in my mind, believe that it's possible.
And I'm gonna jump on that same boat with you for the simple fact that this could go either way. So why not believe for the positive?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I am going to get out of here and go attend to my little bubby Tubby.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on, Savage, and thanks for talking about Angel.
Thank you for coming on. All right, goodbye, everybody. Oh, before I go, real quick, let me explain for the people who don't know about the games and the level system. Batissimo is a mod bot that I got so that my mods can kind of just take a break and pay attention to what's going on and hear the stories when they're in here. The loyalty points, you get 5 loyalty points every 5 minutes that you are watching the live and interacting. You get 1 point every 5 minutes that you're not actually chatting, and you get levels, which you can use those points in the store, which I haven't set up yet. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I had put out there as a joke that I might, for so many points, you could get me to do an ice bucket challenge video or do a live with a pickle taped to my forehead or something like that. Something just to lighten up the stream and to keep it, so that we aren't leaving here so heavy and so downtrodden when we hear about all these horrible things that happen to these kids, because that's a lot. I mean, I know there have been nights when I've done lives and I couldn't even sleep because of what we had talked about. So it's just something to lighten up the stream, something to be engaged with. The dime, when it says so and so intercepted a dime, you type exclamation point start. It'll put up a series of numbers and symbols. And what you have to do is type the numbers in the correct order that you see in that jumble of numbers and symbols. And you'll get basically an Easter egg that'll have however many points in it, depending on how long it takes you to crack the code. And that's what that is. So I'm
Yeah,
out of here.
awesome. I mean, I got to get something like that, honestly. I know that the mods always are like, I didn't even get to see the live, so because you're
Check
constantly
my
modding.
about page. There's a link there to try it.
Okay, awesome. All right, thanks, Savage. Have a good day.
You too. Bye, y'all.